Hello, this is Virtual Chess Noob, learning and having fun with chess. Another day, another giraffe attack. Let's go take a look. So in this game, white pieces as usual, e4, e5, knight c3, the Vienna Game. This was a game I played on Lichess, a 15-minute plus 10-second increment rapid game, and my opponent played Anderssen's Defense. And against the Anderssens, we've got Queen g4, the Giraffe Attack.
Mr. Anderssen.
Immediately attacking that pawn. Now, I've had a run of Giraffe Attack games, and in one of the matches, the opponent pushed G6, which is a problem. Another game they played Queen F6, which is also a problem. And in this game, my opponent played the best move, Knight to F6. Here, I knew that the best move for me was to retreat the queen, immediately attacking that pawn, which potentially comes with a fork. My opponent now short castles, which is a fine move. And here I thought, because it was a quick match, might as well just get to take that pawn. However, this is a mistake. And the reason that this is a mistake is that black now has this actually quite a brilliant line, to be honest. I actually forgot that this line existed, which is bishop captures the pawn on f2 with check, and if you take the bishop back, you now have this royal fork, and basically you lose the game. So I actually made a mistake, but luckily for me, the Giraffe Attack is a reasonably obscure opening, and so my opponent with the black pieces didn't know about this, made this interesting rook move attacking the queen. There's a certain logic here because it also then attacks that pawn. However, of course, they hang their bishop. I take the bishop, and basically I'm perfectly fine here. And the issue is black just isn't fast enough. So they try to put more and more pressure on the e4 pawn. That's fine. Defend. And here they took, which was a mistake. In fact, this is plus 7.5. I'm completely ahead now. So take back. They try to attack the queen, capture that with the bishop. They take, and they've damaged their pawn structure here. Here I pin the knight to the queen. Here, that's fine. Takes. They take back, and now I get to long castle. They now, bring their bishop to the semi-open b file, and I do have to be careful here. So I'm completely winning here, but, black does have some potential chances. So I need to be careful, need to defend that knight. And so for me, with the white pieces, it's about consolidation. Setting up the defense, making sure I'm rock solid, and then try to force trades because I am basically up a piece. Black has some attacking tactics, so I just need to deflect them while I develop my knight and other rook. So, firstly, let's stop, the infiltration of the queen. Here, that makes a lot of sense because, of course, if I move the knight out of the way, then the queen and rook, very, very powerful there. So, move the king. They push a pawn, that's fine. Now, develop the other knight. And potentially, I've got some good attacking chances there, and also connecting the rooks. They sort of move their rook forward. I think they're trying to form a battery. I move that knight forward, which was my plan. Here we go. There's a battery, but now I can block that battery with the other knight, and this is basically over defending the king. I'm perfectly okay. They push. Not a good move, can just take with the queen, takes, still defended, and now that square is blocked by another pawn. Very, very good. Here they decide to move the queen, which is a pinch okay move, but now I've got the opportunity to force a rook trade. And simplifying for me is the best thing I can do because the fewer pieces black has left on the board, the easier it is for me to play for a win. So there we go. They pretty much have to trade rooks. There we are. King forced out of the way. Again, move the pawn so that it's not under attack by the queen. They try to attack. And here what I saw was I could potentially, if I could get my queen to that position, force a queen trade. So, firstly, queen to c8 with a fork of the rook and also that f5 square, the f5 position. They didn't quite see it, so now capture the pawn, and we've got basically a pin. So forced trade of queens. I now have rook and knight versus rook, completely winning. Now that being said, my opponent actually played quite well in this game. And I sort of struggled here a little bit to make sure I was okay. So take the pawn. They managed to infiltrate with the rook, and so their rook was more developed. And here what I saw was they could potentially try to gobble these f pawns. And if I tried to defend with the rook, of course, they can just end up taking that pawn. I eventually found the move, which was knight to e6, and you can see I spent a fair amount of time thinking that one through. And I did note that, I was in some time pressure, but basically here, that pawn remains defended. If they try to attack the f-pawn, then I can just move it forward and it'll be defended. They push that pawn, that's fine. Attack the rook, here we go. There we are. So everything here, this cluster is all defended. On the queen side, I've got 3 pawns versus 1. So my goal is potentially to trade off that pawn. I should still have a passed pawn because there's nothing here, and then I can push that for the win. So here we go. Advance these pawns. There we are. Trade, trade. Here, that's fine. I'm willing to potentially sack one. They take. Here, let's trade. They're not going to trade. And here we go. This is the passed pawn. And pretty much there's nothing really black can now do. Their rook is potentially a little bit trapped on that side. Let's try to trade. Push, push, push. There we are. That's fine. Push, push, push. And here I think black realized that they could not prevent promotion. And so they traded their rook for the pawn. And here it's a matter of just finishing off. I've got 2 minutes left to their 5, but with the 15-second increment and with the relatively simple game, it's not too difficult to win. The most important thing for me is to not cause a stalemate. So here we go, push and push. And here I saw a very evil idea. I thought, look, yep, queen, that would be mate because everything is now defended. But then I realized I could under-promote to a rook and still have mate. So maybe a bit of a scumbag move. Promotion to rook, checkmate, good game, GG. My big takeaway from this game is to learn the Giraffe Attack. It's a silly name of a very winning and fun line in the Vienna game. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.